So till now we have covered all type of locators, right?
Yes.
Today we'll go through Selenium RC API. So which API we have to use for automating the tasks, front-end tasks. Okay.
Okay.
I will go one by one. So I have already written.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after Selenium.open, I am using wait for condition here. So what wait for condition will do is, yeah. So you are opening the URL in browser, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I am opening it now. So to load this URL, it will definitely take some time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Java will execute the commands one by one, and it will execute each command within fraction of seconds.
Okay.
So after Selenium.open will open an URL in a browser, and it doesn't wait, it will execute the next command, like Selenium.click will be called.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
here we are trying to click on a button, but to click on the button, the page should be loaded, right?
Yes.
So you should wait till the page is getting loaded. So Selenium is providing an API named wait for condition. So this API will put the program execution in wait mode till the condition is getting satisfied.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So what I am doing here is I am trying to find an element with an ID main.
Okay.
So I am telling the program to wait till that element is getting found. So if that element is, if I am able to find that element means the page is getting loaded, then I can do the operation whatever I want on that page.
Okay.
So after that I am calling selenium.click. Here what I am trying to do is I am trying to click on this try it yourself button.
Okay.
If you see here, for this button there is no ID, there is no name.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's why I have written a XPath expression. So my XPath expression is the tag name is A and at the rate class try it button.
Okay.
So based on this XPath I am getting the element.
Yes.
So let me try this. So before running it I should start the server, right?
Yes.
CMP colon series. So it's opening the browser. So page is not getting loaded. That's why it's waiting.
Okay.
So it opened the page and it clicked on the link. So it clicked on this try it yourself button. That's why this try it editor is getting open. Okay.
Okay.
So I have written it as a test case. As I explained earlier, I put before and after. So on the tear down, I am calling selenium.close and selenium.stop. In before, I am initializing the object. So I am creating new default Selenium object. I am starting the server. I am window maximizing it, and I am setting the timeout and doing this change. So click. We have already worked done. So now we will see check. What is the purpose of check API? Sorry, I have written these examples long back. So this page is not there or what? Okay, let me try with another page. Mm, So this is page. So I want to open this page, right? So I'm giving the URL here. So instead of giving wait for condition, we can call selenium dot wait for page load. So some 1 minute time I am giving here. So now to check on a checkbox, first you should locate the element, right? So see this, it has ID and it has name. First preference we will give to ID, right?
Yes.
Graphics. So we will give graphics equal to my ID. Okay. Now we'll run the program. See, graphics is unchecked.
Okay.
Now I am pressing F6. That means that command is getting executed. See, graphics is checked, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And there is one more API. I will show that API also here itself. Like you are checking, right? If you want to uncheck, uncheck API is also there.
Okay.
Sorry, it's failing.
Yeah, I got it.
So along with click, we learn two more APIs. One is check, another one is uncheck. Check will be used for check the checkboxes, uncheck will be used to unselect them. Okay. So now I am running a test case. I will now we are looking at capture screenshot API. Okay, I will tell you the real-time need of this API. So I am running test cases. I automated around 20 test cases. I am running it.
Okay.
So one of them got failed. So to analyze that failure, I need some logs. I need some information, right?
Yes.
Along with the logs, if I see the screenshot at the time of failure, if I see the browser state at the time of failure, then I can easily get the issue and easily fix that issue. It will be really helpful in my debugging.
Okay.
That's why what will we do is, before terminating the browser, that means before calling selenium.stop, we will call selenium.capture screenshot API. So it will capture the screenshot in case of failure and it will store it in some location I have given. So
Okay.
in the test cases, I have given around 20 test cases. 2 got failed. Then I will quickly go to the screenshots of the failure test cases, and I can easily understand whether it is a product issue or my test case issue. Okay.
Okay.
So when I was looking at the screenshot of my test case, if the page is still in the loading state, that means that is my uh, test case issue, because I didn't provide enough wait time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it is something else, like button is not enabled, button is disabled, or button is invisible, something like that, then we can log a bug to the product. In the earlier release, it's not like that. Now functionality got changed, so it's a mistake like that. We can log the ticket. So it would be really helpful in debugging the failure test cases. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we will see how is it working. So I will directly run. Here I have given a location, right? D colon error.png.
Yeah.
Now see my D folder, there is no error.png.
Okay.
Okay, I am running my test case. First let me show you what is this page contains. So this page contains some upload a file window, which will be used to upload some files. So I am running my test case, run as JNE test case. It opened. Somehow if my test case got failed, I am calling capture screenshot API, right?
Yes.
See, now it is created. Now the time is 10:24. The file is created now. If you open that,
Okay.
it will give me the screenshot.
Okay.
So after looking at the screenshot, I can easily debug my issue.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So to get the screenshot in Selenium RC, which API you will use? You will use capture screenshot API. Okay.
Yes.
So we don't hard code it actually. Here to give you an example, I hard coded it, but we will parameterize it. We will pass the string file location, and that file location we will use, and that can be configurable. So you can give it as D colon, E colon, some folder name you can give. Okay.
Okay.
When you are actually programming it, you should parameterize it. You should not hard code it. Okay.
Okay.
So what does it mean by context menu? Context menu is nothing but right click. Okay. These click, check, uncheck and all, uh, you you don't be confused actually, because the names are similar. Even in our real-time usage, we will call it as click only, we will call it as check, we will call it as uncheck. But in case of context menu, in real time we will call it as right click, right?
Yes.
We don't call it as context menu click. But in JavaScript programming language, according to the scripting terminology, we will call right click as context menu click.
Okay.
Okay, remember this. So to, to perform right click operation on top of an element, you should call selenium dot context menu.
Yes.
Okay. So this is my page. So this is the element, right click me. So if I right click, it will open this context menu. Okay.
Okay.
I should do right click on top of this element. So if you see this element, you don't have any ID and name.
Yes.
That's why I have written a XPath.
Yes.
So my XPath is div @class equal to context menu 1 box menu 1. Okay. So it will pick up that element and it will perform right click on it.
Okay.
1 minute, sir. Let me give 1 minute. Hello. So I'm running this. It opened the page for me and it stopped in debug mode.
Okay.
So I need to press F6 to run. So I call this context menu command.
Mm-hmm.
So right click performed, right? You got the context menu now. So to perform right click in Selenium, we'll use Selenium dot context menu. The locator is similar. You have already learned, right?
Yes.
So you can implement it. You can use any one of the locators like ID, name, XPath, CSS, DOM, anything you can use, but you will follow that priority. First you will look for ID. If you don't find ID, you will go ahead with name. If you don't find name, go ahead with CSS. If you are not able to generate CSS locator for an element, go ahead with XPath. In last case, you will go ahead with DOM. Okay, now double click. So sometimes we need to double click to perform an action. Single click is not enough to perform the task. So double click me. If I single click, it doesn't do anything. If I double click, oh, 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. I need to double click here, I guess. If I double click here, it will open Google for me. If I click, it doesn't do anything. If I double click, it will open Google.
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna tell you hold on just 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Hello?
Yes. Can you wait for 5 minutes? I'll be back.
Shoot. So, so in this way, you need to construct the DOM paths.
Okay.
So this path I am using here. So it opened my page. Now I am calling double click. Oh, strange. Okay. There is some problem with the page. Let me change the example for you once. So if you want to test anything, you can to find the pages, you can Google it like this: test double click online. So click here to test, click here to clear, mouse up. So okay, see Swati, what they're doing is, if I click on this, typically first click is nothing but mouse down and mouse up, right?
Yes.
So that's why they are logging mouse down, mouse up, click. So click is nothing but mouse down, mouse up, and I am performing click, right? That's why those are this guy is logging all the actions what I am doing. So if I do double click, see what he is doing: mouse down, mouse up. Double click is nothing but it's a sequence of two clicks, right?
Yes.
So he is noting down the first click as click, and he is noting down second click as DBL click. So
Okay.
we can test it like this: we can load the page and we will perform double click on the link, then this DBL click has to come in the window. Then that is the way to test whether double click is firing or not. Okay, we will write a test case for it. Okay, I am opening this page. So to wait, we can use, instead of wait for condition, we can call wait for page to load. Okay. Now we need to find the element. Function F12. Here also. So A is there. So for this element class on page on mouse up on DVL click. So we have only one link, right? Click here to test with that name. So we can simply use this one. Link we can use happily. Link equal to click here to test. So I am calling debug. See, DBL click is getting logged, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you observe that click mouse down mouse up are not yet logged here, but if I do manually, then it's noting down all mouse up mouse down click and DBL click, right?
Yes.
So that is the difference. Sometimes what will happen now in Selenium, he will automate the things by executing some script.
Okay.
He doesn't do the things in the same way we are doing manually. So sometimes some events might miss. In such cases, a test case might fail. So you need to identify the difference between manual testing and automation testing. If you are able to automate things using the API like Selenium double click or click, you can happily use that API. If you are not able to accomplish the task, means you are missing some tasks, you are missing some events.
Okay.
In such cases, you need to explore on other ways how to accomplish the task. Okay, to fire that missed events, you need to do some. You need to find some other ways
Yes.
that we will discuss in later classes. But observe this: if you do manually, it is logging four things. If I do double click manually, it's logging four things: mouse down, mouse up click, and DVL click. But if I do the same thing through an API, it is logging only one thing. Okay, you got it right. So why is it happened? How to overcome these kind of issues? We will discuss later. For now, it's enough. So to perform double click in Selenium, we will use this API Selenium dot double click.
Double click. Yes.
See, the cursor came here, right?
Yes.
That is the purpose of focus. So before typing, so I will tell you this. So I am on this browser. Okay, if I type on the keyboard, it doesn't enter any text into this text field, right?
Yes.
So before entering the text, I should move my mouse cursor here and I should click on it first.
Okay.
That is called focusing the element. After focusing in a text box, I need to type, then only text will be entered there.
Okay.
Okay, so to accomplish that task through Selenium, there is an API named Focus.
Okay.
Okay, I will show it again, then you will get. So we loaded the page. If you see in this search box, Google custom search is there. Okay,
Okay.
I am not doing anything with my mouse manually. I am just calling this command selenium.focus. So before calling this command, observe here. Here you have the text Google custom search. After calling this command, cursor went there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the purpose of focus. It's really good to use focus before using selenium.type. Sometimes selenium.type doesn't work without using selenium.focus. Okay.
Okay.
In some cases it will work, in some cases it doesn't work. So you need to figure out the failures, and in such cases you should use focus also prior to selenium.type. Okay. So before explaining fire event, I will tell you what does it mean by event, what does it mean by listener. Okay.
Okay.
See, this is called event. On change is an event. That means for any change in this text box, I am asking the browser to call this function. So in this function I am saying alert hi Swati. That's why it is giving the alert Swati.
Okay.
Okay. So change is called event. So the action you are performing on an element is called event in JavaScript terminology. Okay.
Okay.
The method you are calling, right? When you are performing some action, you are calling some method, right? That is called listener.
Yes.
So every operation like click, every action like click, checking a checkbox or selecting a radio button, everything is an event in JavaScript. Okay.
Okay.
If you see here, if I open Facebook in other browser, in other tab, if I type something, if I click outside, it doesn't give me any alert because I didn't associate a listener with this event. Only in this particular tab I associated that listener, right? That's why if I type something and if I click outside, it will give me hi Swati.
Yes.
Okay. So these are called event and listener. So the action you are performing in a browser is called as, is termed as event in JavaScript terminology, and the method which is getting called on performing an action is known as listener. Okay, remember that thing. So we can automate the action by calling an event also. So click is nothing but an event also. So without calling selenium.click, I can perform click operation on a button using Fire Event API. Okay.
Okay.
So Fire Event is nothing but calling an action. So here I am opening the browser. I can click. We have already tested, right, using selenium.click. We clicked on this button, it opened this try it editor window, right? So without using click API, I am doing the same action with the help of fire event now. I am calling fire event and I am giving the locator where I have to fire an event, and I should provide the type. Okay. Click is the name for the click event. So for double click, DBL click is the event name. For right click, context menu is the event name. So these are the event names in JavaScript. Okay, as a beginner, it is not all needed for you. Just to know the purpose of API, I am telling. Just remember, and remember only click event for now. Don't look at DBL click, context menu and all. You can learn it later. Okay.
Okay.
But you can do click action like this also by firing an event. By firing click event on top of an element, you can perform the click action.
Okay.
Debug as gen application. See, now only two windows are there. If I call it, it will open one more window. So try it editor is getting open, right? This is due to that fire event API execution. Okay.
Okay.
So you can perform a click action by using fire event API and by passing event name as click.
Okay.
So for now we will stop it here, Swati.
Okay.
Yeah, I will look at all the APIs I covered in this class. So I forgot to explain you Clickit API. I will explain it tomorrow. So what is the difference between click and Clickit? I explained you click, I explained you check, uncheck, capture screenshot, context menu, double click, focus. This element coordinator is something else. It is not an Selenium API. Fire event. Okay. Till fire event we have covered, right?
Yes.
So click will be used for click an element. Okay. click it we will discuss later. So check will be used for checking the checkboxes.
The checkboxes.
Uncheck will be used to uncheck a selected checkbox. Okay. Capture screenshot will be used to take the screenshot of your browser.
Okay.
Okay, what is the real-time significance of capture screenshot? So by looking at the screenshot, you can easily debug the failure. Okay, to perform right-click, which API we will use? Context menu. There is no API named right-click. Don't try for selenium.right-click. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to perform right-click operation, you should go with selenium.context menu. Okay, then to perform double-click, we have double-click. So what is the purpose of focus? Focus will place the cursor in the text box wherever you want to mouse over, something like that. Okay. If you want to bring an text element into focus, you need to call selenium.focus. In some cases, selenium.type might fail if you don't use focus. In such cases, you should use focus prior to selenium.type. Okay.
Yes.
So fire event will be used to fire some JavaScript events. As an example, we learned how to fire click event using fire event. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for today. If you have free time, you can try this API on the browser wherever you want to fire. You can wherever you want to execute, you can execute and explore more on that. Okay.
Okay.
When you are trying them, if you find any issues, we will discuss those issues in the next class, and we'll continue with the next chapter. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, Sati. Bye then.
Yes. Okay. Bye.